Hello, this is Dr. Rosie Kuhn, and this podcast is called Aging Like a Guru. Who, me? Yes, you. Yes, you and me and 8 billion other people who are in the process of aging. We think we're aging, but essentially, inside this process is a spiritual being who is ageless, is eternal, is light and universal potential. And how we see ourselves in this process of aging, well, that kind of contributes to how our life unfolds. If we're worried and concerned and hesitant and resistant about moving forward in our life, which means aging, then our life is going to look a certain way. And if we're excited and curious and fascinated and adventurous about what's possible, well, our life will look a different way. So this aging process is what is because we exist in human form. And it started the moment that you and your dad, not you and your dad, but your dad and your mom made you. And it will occur and continue to occur, this aging process, until the day that you leave this body and move into a different form. So these series of podcasts will look at who you be and how you be inside this process. And this process starts, like I said, early. And the beginnings of worrying about aging can start really early for some people in their childhood. For others, it doesn't start till later. You know, it's a funny thing. At the senior center here on Orcas Island, there's a lot of people that won't come to senior lunch, or they won't come and participate at the senior center because they don't consider themselves old, even though they might be in their 70s or 80s or even 90s. They don't want to hang out with old people. So it's kind of fascinating about how we perceive aging. What this program will address is those elements of our life that trigger us into worrying or being concerned or fearful about aging. For instance, when we get that first gray hair, or we notice a little more pudge in our belly area, or we begin to experience premenopause or menopausal symptoms, or the erections begin to happen less frequently or less on demand. Sleeping habits, all kinds of things start to happen. And what that does, or what we do with those indications, with those symptoms, is what we do with those. And that's what we're going to be addressing: is what do you do with that information? How do you be with that moment that you realize that you are not immortal, that you will die? Many years ago, when I was about 47, a friend of mine was talking about how her skin was creping, and she was about 50. And I thought, wow, that's not going to happen to me. I just know it's not going to happen to me. And then one day, that fateful day, all of a sudden I noticed my skin had begun changing. And it was like, oh my God, I am not immortal, and I am not going to get out of this alive, if you will. And so I had to start being honest with myself in that regard. This program, Aging Like a Guru, Who Me, is kind of about getting honest with yourself in this process, getting honest with how you be while you're aging. Because how you be while you're aging, whether you are 14 or 24 or 38 or 57, it doesn't matter. How you're being with aging is how you be until you're here no more. So if you can get clearer about choices you're making and how you're perceiving aging, you can perceive it as just a continuation of decline into decrepitude. I love that phrase. Or you can see it as an opportunity to really explore the vast potential of being in this human body, in this human existence. Then you get to be excited about that, and potentially more curious and adventurous, and maybe be less resistant to moving in the direction of fulfillment of your human spirit. So our time together will be discussing and exploring who you are inside this process of aging. And again, this is not necessarily for people who are seniors, who are 60, 70, 80s, or 90s. Can you know that that's a 30-year span? But it includes people in their 30s and 40s and 50s as well. So I hope you'll join me and be curious about who you be in this aging process. Because the truth is, you are an aging guru, a guru who is aging. And I look forward to exploring that with you further. All right, bye for now.